5 of the best CEO perfumes for the ladies. So all of these are marketed for women. As a matter of fact, I think 2 of them are unisex, but I think they would go perfectly on a lady. And of course, when we're talking about CEO perfumes, we're talking about DNAs that are very refined and elegant and professional, but also ones that in a way command authority, right? So these are ones that you want to wear maybe in an office setting, maybe in a corporate setting, especially when you want to give the vibe that you are in a professional position where you're not necessarily barking orders, so to speak, but you want to convey a sense of confidence and without being commandeering. And I think that's a hard balance to strike here, but all of these are absolutely gorgeous. And we do have some floral personality. Some are a little bit on the fruity side of things. And we also have one that has a nice bit of patchouli in the dry down. But as a matter of fact, all of these are absolutely exquisite. And I personally love every single one of these. So I'm very happy to have the opportunity to recommend them to you. And I hope you take something of value from these fragrances. And of course, if you do enjoy this type of content, and if you want to stay up to date on daily fragrance uploads, actually twice a day, all you have to do is hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. It would really, really mean a lot to me. And with regard to some of the fragrances on this list, not all of them, but some of them, I know they can be a bit on the pricey side of things. So my recommendation would be get a sample from a place like ScentSplit.com. ScentSplit is incredible. I've been using them since like 2013, 2014. Basically, they're a service that allows you to get samples, decants, whether it be 5 mLs, 10 mLs, whatever the case may be. This way you can try it on your skin, you can sample it, see how it works with your pH levels, your skin chemistry, and then by the end of it, if you feel as though you're enjoying it enough to commit to the purchase of a full-size bottle, at least you can say you sampled it and you tried it for yourself and it's to your liking and it resonates with your personal taste. Because as we all know, scent is very, very subjective. Let's take the first one, for example, and this is a super, super mass appealing DNA. I love this stuff. This is Gucci Guilty Pour Femme, but the intense version. So this one does have violet, it does have tuberose, so it has this floral bouquet in the heart, but it also has a touch of patchouli in the dry down. So it can be a little bit on the earthy side of things, but don't worry, the patchouli in here is not too heavy-handed, it's not too rough and tumble, as it were. Of course, we see patchouli in fragrances like Angel by Thierry Mugler, and there's so many other patchouli-dominant perfumes, and the patchouli really comes through, usually in one of 2 personalities. It can either be very chocolatey and kind of gourmand-leaning, which is not the case in this one, but it can also be quite earthy. Sometimes it can smell a bit like soil, believe it or not. That's not the case in this one either. This is more of like an herbal take on the note of patchouli, but it still serves as a fixative in this composition, which basically means that it's going to prolong the longevity of the perfume. So if you're looking for something with sustenance, and of course you're going to get that from the intense version, not necessarily the original. The original is fine and all. I personally prefer this one, so I would sooner recommend this one over the original for the longevity alone. It feels a bit denser. I think the olfactive differences are negligible, but please try it for yourself. At the end of the day, this is one that you can sample by walking into like a Macy's or a Sephora or something like that. So no need to go on ScentSplit for this one. Just a very easygoing, mass appealing DNA, absolutely beautiful. Perfect for a female CEO, especially when you want to show people who's boss. You are the authority in the room. Now, the next one, I have to be honest with you, is not my favorite from the brand. It is, I hate to say this, but it's one of my least favorites. And I say that with good intentions because I don't want to mislead you. The brand is Parfums de Marly, and I love, 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 love Marly. If we're talking about Oriana, Delina Exclusive, even Cassily, I think is absolutely beautiful. However, this one I think is very clean cut, very elegant, very polished, but that's the thing, right? I would recommend this for an office scenario. And I think you're going to smell divine in the office. But as far as it caters to my personal taste, like if I were on a date with a woman, I would much prefer that she wears something like Delina Exclusive or Oriana, or perhaps even Safanad. I think Safanad is quite nice too. Well, it really all depends. So I don't want to, it's all personal and subjective, but try it for yourself. This is a really nice iris perfume, and it's Athalia. I know there's so much love for Athalia, and for very good reason. I think it's just a very well put together, very polished perfume. And I love that starchy quality of the iris without it necessarily smelling like lipstick or a cosmetic bag, which is something that iris has a tendency of doing. But this one is truly remarkable. It's a wonderful perfume, albeit not my favorite from the brand, but I think there's a special place for it. And that's the thing, right? It all boils down to the season, the occasion, the situation, where you're wearing it, how many people are going to be around you, what kind of vibes do you want to give off. So at the end of the day, take everything that I say with a grain of salt. Just because it's not my favorite doesn't mean you're not going to fall in love with it. As a matter of fact, I know a lot of women who claim that Athalia is their favorite from Marley. So we also have another one by the brand Mind Games, and I have at least a dozen fragrances from the brand. This is not my setup, by the way. I'm at my friend Daniel's house. I know some people have inquired about this in my recent posts, but I have pretty much half of what is behind me. This one is Kaisa, and this is such a beautiful floral fragrance. Yes, there is, I think, ylang ylang. There's tuberose in here as well. Oh, I know it says it, no, not tuberose, gardenia. I just reminded myself that it does list a couple of the notes on the label, although there could very well be tuberose in here. It does give off a bit of that clean white floral personality. I know the gardenia contributes to that significantly, but boy, is this a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. I personally love this one. It is so rich, it is floral. There's a bit of like a fruity personality to it as well, but it's no Jadoub, right? So if you've tried Jadoub, that one can be a bit on the fruitier side of things. So that one is more of like a casual, fun summer fragrance. Kaisa is more of like an office-friendly, formal, you know, I make the rules and you better obey type of a fragrance. Although I'm sure none of you are going to be that assertive or heavy-handed, I suppose. Beautiful fragrance. I know I mentioned gardenia, and I can't talk about gardenia without talking about this next one. And this one kind of reminds me of the boss or CEO who is, you know, stern in the office or in the workplace, as it were. I don't know if it's an office necessarily, but also the CEO who doesn't mind, you know, maybe on like a random Friday, like treating her employees out to like a nice brunch or something, maybe an extended lunch where, you know, everybody packs up from the office and they head out for a couple hours and they just take like a nice midday break. So it's a very genial and amicable personality. And this one by the House of Beau is called Ave Maria. This is a beautiful, 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 beautiful gardenia-based fragrance. Very clean white floral heart. And this is just a very elegant, super easy to wear summer perfume. Spring and summer, I think, is really where it's at. And I can see a really confident woman wearing this in a beautiful sundress. This is just a gorgeous fragrance. Let me talk about the perfume in the #1 spot, and I personally fell in love with this one. It has character, it has charisma, it has personality, it has the density, it has the natural quality to it. It stands out. It's super unique, super original, perfect for the spring and summer. It's a floral forward fragrance without being too sharp or astringent. And I know floral ingredients like freesia or narcissus can have that personality. And I know there are a lot of women out there who really enjoy those. Take, for example, the original Michael Kors for her. That one I think is a very strong yellow floral fragrance, of which I'm not a fan, to be honest with you. But this is a beautiful white floral fragrance. It has a bit of a starchy quality to it. The only drawback is that it's very expensive. And so this is where Scent Split comes into play. So if you have the opportunity to do so, please get yourself a sample from Scent Split. This way, it's very, very minimal commitment. I mean, the price you're going to pay for a sample is negligible, in my opinion. And then you can also bundle it together with maybe many other fragrances that you were interested in sampling as well. But this one by the brand Amouage is called Love Tuberose. Tuberose is such a beautiful, elegant, and hypnotizing floral ingredient. And this one is just so elegant, so starchy, so clean, so powerful at the same time. And, you know, of course, there's Overture, which is a very dark, brooding fragrance. And then we also have Guidance, which is a very romantic / sensual fragrance, especially when we're talking about Guidance 46, which is a bit more polished, I think. Not as diffusive as the original, but a bit denser and perhaps even a bit thicker. This one, however, is just a beautiful, like midpoint type of a fragrance where it's not too casual, but it's not too dark and brooding. This is just very clean and elegant without smelling pure or dainty. And, you know, a lot of floral perfumes, especially the clean white florals, can be kind of on the serene or tranquil side of things. This is just... it's clean, but it's also quite assertive. So I love this one. Love Tuberose by Amouage. Please try this one out. What a gorgeous gift that the brand has bestowed upon its olfactive fans. Hey, Thank you so much for watching. 5 perfumes for the female CEO. If you want to convey a sense of authority, but also elegance at the same time, please try these. And of course, if you took anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up for good measure. It helps tremendously with the algorithm. Please believe me. Thanks again for watching. I love you all. We'll see you tomorrow with a new episode.